Good afternoon. The August 9th special meeting of the Evanston City Council will come to order. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Heracles. Good. Unmute. Councilmember Heracles. You are muted. Okay. Councilmember Kelly.
Here.
Councilmember Nguyen. Councilmember Newsma.
Sorry, here.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Burns. Councilmember Sufferton. Councilmember Ravel.
Here.
And Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, clerk. We begin today's meeting with public comment. There is one member of the public seeking to give comment. Elliot Zation, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mayor Biss. First, I would like to commend those council members who decided to take a second look at Carol Mitten and change their initial opinion. Rather than get into a controversy about the veracity of her Urbana critic, it was possible to consider her credentials and current duties in Urbana against the requirements of the Evanston position, as well as listening closely to what she had to say in her remarks at the public program. I recommend now that the mayor and council put aside the panic messages and focus on what are the most pressing issues in the coming months. What are they? The budget, hiring a police chief, considering an independent police review board, what to do with the remaining ARPA funds if there are any. These are issues that should be addressed. And perhaps the council needs to take something of a respite from the search for a new city manager. I think Luke Stowe should be given a chance to show what he's capable of and a firm contract for at least a year. And if he wishes, a chance to be considered for the permanent position. In the meantime, the council should spend some time figuring out what is an optimal way to conduct a recruitment search with public input. Then, in a few months, see whether the search firms have produced any candidates worth serious interviews. In other words, what I'm suggesting is that the council rely on Mr. Stowe for a while, give him some security, let him show what he can do, and in effect, put off the search and not feel that if we don't have a new permanent city manager right away, somehow it's going to be really catastrophic for Evanston. So I urge you to take these steps, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much. That concludes public comment for the afternoon. Let the record reflect the council members Reed and Burns are on the roll now. We now move to call of the wards. Council member Heracles. Councilmember Heracles, are you able to unmute yourself? All right, Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you. There are two important meetings this week that relate to some of the questions and issues and concerns of the First Ward. Wednesday evening, there is a Land Use Commission hearing for a proposed 18-story development on Chicago Avenue. And on Thursday evening, our Housing Subcommittee of Planning and Development will begin the discussion of the definition of family and the three-person rule at 5 o'clock at the Civic Center. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. I think Councilmember Heracles is now in a position to unmute himself. Councilmember Heracles. Maybe false alarm. Sorry about that. All right, Councilmember Ravel?
Just once again, I have a ward meeting this evening at 7 o'clock, a virtual ward meeting to discuss the Poplar Avenue Improvement Project.
Councilmember Reed?
Yes, I also have a ward meeting, as I announced yesterday, on the last Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. But more pressing and more soon coming is tomorrow at 6 p.m. There's a landlord resource webinar hosted by our wonderful housing staff. Anna will be leading that. As well as there's a survey that the small landlord task force, which myself and another member of the HCDC committee sit on, and there's a survey that is going out to small landlords. So we encourage folks to complete that survey. A link is on the city's website. Our staff, Anna Eligaraza, has also submitted something to the roundtable, so you can also find this in the roundtable as well. So really looking forward to small and medium-sized landlords completing that survey, and so the city can offer some much-needed financial assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to see if third time's the charm with Councilmember Hadakati. So you're able to unmute yourself? Seems like no. Okay, Councilmember Burns.
No report.
All right, I think, ooh, it looks like Councilmember Hadakatis is now unmuted. You want to try speaking, Councilmember? We did it.
Sure. Yeah, it just on a tape delay, apparently. Ward meeting on the 18th and office hours on the 20th.
Thank you. I'd like the clerk to add Councilmember Nguyen to the roll call as well. Councilmember Nguyen, did you want to give any call of the wards?
No report.
Thank you. That completes call of the wards for
No report from the fourth ward either.
Ooh, man, sorry.
No problem.
Speaking of the fourth ward, Councilmember Newsom is recognized to make a motion.
Pursuant to 5 Illinois compiled statutes 120/2A, I move that the City Council convene into executive session to discuss agenda items regarding personnel. These agenda items are permitted subjects to be considered in executive session and are enumerated exceptions under the Open Meetings Act as set forth in 5 ILCS 120/2A, Section C1.
Is there, Councilmember Newsom moves the City Council resolve itself into an executive session to discuss personnel matters. Councilmember Nguyen seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Hadakatis. Councilmember Kelly. Councilmember Nguyen. Aye. Councilmember Newsma.
Aye.
Councilmember Burns.
Aye.
Councilmember Ravel.
Aye.
Councilmember Reed.
Aye.
And I couldn't hear him.
Councilmember?
Councilmember Hadakatis.
I said aye.
Aye, okay.
Do you hear me? Aye.
Yes.
Okay.
With 7 voting in favor and none voting against, the motion carries. And at 2:24 p.m., the City Council moves into an executive session to begin immediately in the council member library. Thanks all.